This episode is brought to you by our Patreon supporters. Today's patron of the day is David Dilly. Patrons always get the show ad-free and access to the extended episode with bonus content. If you don't want to miss all of that, go to patreon.com/calltheline. That's patreon.com/calltheline.
I'm not very attached to my set here. Maybe I'll consult with patrons on what I should do. But I want a new set, but it's hard to figure out how I'm going to do it, especially with this TV mounted behind me. But I bought a new set piece. You like this? My rotary phone.
That's fun.
Calling on yeah. I was thinking I should get a bunch. Get some antique phones and have like a whole display behind me.
That's a cool idea.
Anyway, let's talk about the news and stuff. Or maybe before we do all of that, we'll talk about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Maybe.
That's not what I meant to do. This is. Shit. I almost knocked something over with this phone prop. Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Line is a Podcast. It is September 9th, 2025. And for once, the way we pretend we're doing this show in the dead of night, in the early morning, before anybody is awake, it's actually true.
Yes, indeed. I think because we used to film this show or record the show on a different day, and so I had it in my calendar like for when we would normally do it, and then I never moved it over, and then but usually I'm like whatever, it's fine. Today I ended up going into the city and going to some like fashion week events with a friend, and you know what? I got to tell you something. The audience that listens to this podcast they're not people who are looking at influencers at influencer parties and they're like, already. I want to be
there. You're literally saying what I was about to say. Go on.
Yeah. But like influencer parties are the most boring shit I've ever been to.
I've heard that too.
They're so boring.
I've heard it's because everybody like the only time they're active is when they're looking for content to make. Otherwise, they're just like sat somewhere glued to their phone. They don't interact or talk or anything. They don't know how to talk to anyone who's not in a live chat.
Yeah. And so there were some content creators and also the other thing is a lot of content creators, I think, are like feel a little on guard with parasocial stuff. Yeah. And so like if I see, like I saw a content creator that I think is really funny. I saw him today. He's friends with the friend I was with. So like I was introduced to him and whatever. And the whole time I'm just thinking like, I would love to be like, oh, your videos are so funny. Like my entire Instagram DMs is me and my sister sending them back and forth to each other. But then you sort of like,
now you're a fan.
Now you're a fan. And then their guard is up a little bit. So I don't know. It's a weird thing.
You got to walk up and be like, hey, I just want you to know I appreciate the things you create. I enjoy them. But I also know from experience that you're obviously a fraud, but so are we all. Like you're so like clearly, you know, that the amount you are full of shit to be there. Yeah. It's like you can taste the shit. It's coming up the throat. Right. And so I want you to know that I admire your content and your work ethic. You as a person, I probably would hate. But I like your stuff. I like separate from you. Like if something comes out and you did something crazy, once you die, I will continue to enjoy your artwork and separate it from the artist with ease because I'm already kind of separating you from your work. That's
crazy. You know who I saw
say things like that to people. I don't respect you.
You know who I saw at the party actually? Well, the second party I went to is Drew Afualo. Do you know who she is?
I don't know who that is. No.
She makes content on TikTok.
Yeah.
That is like she'll respond to people who are being misogynist or like
Did you get her for chewed gum?
There's no fucking shot. She just wrote a book and does like red carpet interviews. Like she has millions of followers. I think you would be
surprised if you talk. First of all, I'm always surprised when I find out that like we have big people who watch us. And we're considered an institution. But if you go up to somebody and you're like, hey, just so you know, I do a call-in show for what you're describing. We actually like talk to people who want to call in and whatever. Yeah. Because that apparatus doesn't just exist. It's not just like, I feel like doing that today, so I'll just go do that on TikTok live. That doesn't really exist. And so the opportunity to like get to participate, everybody who's ever heard a call-in show wants to do one.
Yeah. Well, so I wish I went up to her, but she's so popular that people were talking to her all the time, and I didn't want to like interrupt. But if I could have, I would have gone up to her and been like, "Hey, I also make a part of my living by yelling at fuck ass men on the internet." So
yeah.
But anyway, I might DM her and just
I'll
be
reach
like,
out. I'll DM her. She knows who I am.
Obviously.
I probably have like a slew of DMs from her, like, "Oh my God, we get it. You want my attention." But if you're telling me she's worth it, I'll go check it out. Here's the thing I know about Fashion Week. People from New York who go to Fashion Week and people from not New York who travel to Fashion Week think everybody knows about Fashion Week. And so it's clearly something much bigger than just Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. It's like and so people will just be like, you'll be talking about, "Oh, hey, I wanted to work with you on this project, whatever, blah, blah, blah." And they'll be, this happened to me yesterday. I was messaging somebody about like, "Hey, do you want to do something? And she's like, "I'd love to, but Fashion Week." And I'm like, okay, so like, don't you like,
so but the reason why people say that is because there's the shows are all day and at weird times. And then there are parties too. And so like for someone like my friend Tara, who I was with for this, like we went to like an in-style party, and it was important that she met the people who work at
But is it only a
InStyle.
week? Because I was asking, hey, this month. That's what I'm saying. And people are just like, as though I
like
understand the shortcuts of all of these things. There's other parts of it where I was like, why are you talking to me like I'm aware of what Fashion Week is? Because I would have just thought Fashion Week, if you told me like Fashion Week, what is describe Fashion Week? And I'm like, I'm guessing all of the like clothing people have like a convention. Yeah. And it's about a week long, and it's like Comic-Con but for fashion.
It kind of is that. But also, if you said Fashion Week, I would just think of like, do you remember
Coke?
Do you remember like senior year of high school vibe? Well, I don't actually know if you had this experience, but senior year in high school where it would be like, and today's pajama day, and tomorrow is wear blue day.
We had very few things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. But that's when you say Fashion Week.
The first high school I went to was Louisiana. We had uniforms.
Oh. Did you prefer it?
No. They were doing it for like, so looking back, I don't think it was, based on where we lived, I think they were just probably being racist.
Oh.
Because the whole idea was you guys have to wear uniforms so you're not wearing gang colors. And that seemed to have been, I realize now, having like gone to schools and met people, and I've had friends who are affiliated, where it's like, I would have known anyway if any of these kids were affiliated, if any of them were, and no one was at our school. And and if there's one or two, like that's not, you're not fooling anybody by having, anyway, so that was the basis. And I'm like, oh, it's because it's a mostly black school. It was like mostly black and Mexican. Those were like the two groups that were, and then I was a part of there were white kids, but there wasn't as many as the other groups. And so it was like, it was this weird thing. It was very weird. And they acted like, and the more I think back on it, I'm like, I don't think there was, if anything, I'm pretty sure our principal at the junior high, because they also had to have uniforms, pretty sure he was from the mob. He was like, I think he was a witness protection situation. Like that was the kind of the way he'd walk around and talk down to kids and stuff. And
interesting.
Yeah. He yelled at a kid once in front of us in the cafeteria because the kid, as a joke, asked if he could come to a school dance. It was a little black kid, and he was like, "Can I come to a school dance in a limousine wearing a pimp suit?" And he like lost his mind at the kid. He's like, "I'm here and I'm doing all this work for you and and I got idiots coming up to me asking if they could show up in a pimp suit. If you even know what that means to me when I hear somebody say pimps." And you're just like, bro, calm down, Giuliani. You want to stop and frisk him now? Like, fucking Christ, chill, dog.
Calm down, Giuliani. I feel like that kid was probably like, okay, the fuck?
My bad.
Oh my God. Anyway, okay. I want to hear about your peanut butter and jelly thing. And then
we got to do the news.
And then we have to do the news.
Which, by the way, people, some kind of news and happening. They released the image.
So news. Yes.
The image has been released. It doesn't exist. I'm suing the Wall Street Journal because I never drew a picture. And by the way, much creepier than I thought it would be. And I didn't even put together at first because I was so primed by like having it described,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't put together a key detail about it until somebody mentioned like, does that kind of look like ... We'll get there. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yes.
If you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you put bread, peanut butter, bread, jelly, bread, 3 pieces of bread, peanut butter, jelly. What do you call that?
Wait, bread, peanut butter, bread, jelly, bread.
Mm-hmm. Bread, peanut butter, bread, jelly, bread. So it's peanut butter, jelly sandwich, an extra piece of bread.
Is that a double decker?
You're like the first person I've known who says it right. That would be a double decker. But a lot of people, because there's 3 pieces of bread, say triple decker. And I'm like, bro, do you know what a bus is? Do you think wiping some peanut butter on a piece of bread would be a single decker? A single decker is bottom and top. Boom, you got it right. Okay, now what would you call it? If it was bread, peanut butter, jelly, bread, peanut butter, jelly, bread. It's not a trick.
Is it like a club?
No, it's just a double PBJ. It's just a double.
Oh.
So it's not a double decker. It's a double PBJ. But people just be like, and so people, this is like one of the things around me I am the most pedantic about. Somebody's like, yeah, I like, my partner said the other day, she's like, my dad has a triple, no. I said most pedantic about. Pedantic specifically. I am not a pedantry specialist. Thank you very much. I quite oppose excessive pedantry. But if you come here, like my partner the other day, and say, my dad takes a triple decker PBJ to work every day, I'm going to break it down. And we're going to go, okay, let's do this one at a time. We were talking about PBJs a little bit before the show, because as I mentioned to Alyssa, I think from the ages of 5 to 25, so from the years 1995 to 2015, I probably averaged 500 PBJs a year.
That's crazy.
That's how many of those bad boys I've consumed. Now, tell me, what's your PBJ? Give me your recipe. Ideal PBJ.
I think ideally it would be white bread.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be, I like a creamy peanut butter.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly,
what kind of creamy peanut butter? Like, are you getting store brand, or is it like a fresh where you have to mix the oil back in?
It should be Jiffy. Like, I'm sorry.
Jif.
I know. Yeah.
Jiffy's different. Jif. Yeah.
Jiffy is like Jiffy Lube. It should be Jif and Welch's.
Okay.
Jelly.
Great.
And then white bread. That's like the ideal. That's the classic. But strawberry jam.
21-year-old me fell in love with you just now because you got every element of the question right for 21-year-old Jimmy.
Yeah.
But around 25, I grew up.
You elevated.
I did. It's more of a honey wheat, but a light honey wheat bread situation.
Ooh.
Jif peanut butter is correct. And I'll fight anybody who says it's not. Jif peanut butter is the right answer. It is the best peanut butter.
It just is.
And the people trying to do like Reese's made like a peanut butter jar, not as good. The chocolate peanut butter jar of Reese's, that's pretty good, but not for a sandwich. The jam is still Welch's. It's a jam, not a jelly. Jellies are gross. Mm-hmm. Don't eat jellies ever. Even if you're doing grape, do grape jam. It's still Welch's, but it's not grape. That was my jam. Grape was my jam. My current jam, that if I can ever have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich again, I will have heaps of these. Blackberry Welch's jam.
Ooh.
So good. The best peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
I want to try blackberry.
You might turn your back on grape.
I might. Well, because I like strawberry jam.
Yeah, it's fine.
But it's very sweet. So like I have to really be in the mood for that. And grape is not as sweet for some reason.
Right.
But blackberries.
Tart. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tomorrow.
I'm glad we cleared this up.
Get to the bottom of this. I think. I do like a white still though. Like, especially if you can get a fresh white from the bakery. Bakery bread. Processed bread, like grocery store bread, a lot of times just tastes like crap.
Yeah.
So I do like a bakery.
Have you ever
white.
made bread?
Oh yeah. I grew up Mormon. Are you insane?
Oh right.
Of course. After the apocalypse, we got to make our own bread. Of course. I've milled flour.
Right. I feel. Oh wait. Okay. Do you remember our last episode? I was talking about Donna, that woman that I was like fighting with.
Yes.
Okay. So one of the other things that
from Shuffleboard.
Yes. Bocce ball.
Bocce ball. Same.
Whatever. Same fucking whatever.
Boardwalk concept Long Island thing.
Exactly.
There we
One
go.
of the other things that she said that was so crazy. Well, she actually say, but another person said that she has a friend who is like prepared for the end of the world, has like so many cans of beans, like cans, vegetables, whatever. And
Mormons.
that woman was like, wow, that's really crazy. Why are you doing that? And she was like, if the end of the world comes, I have a lot of vodka and a lot of cans of chickpeas. And we were like laughing at that. And we were laughing at that. But then Donna, I was watching her because I was like, you have something to say about this. And she was like, well,
come on, I want to talk about the church food I bought. Come on.
She didn't touch it. She didn't touch it, but she wanted to so bad. Little fucking
like,
Donna.
I bought the Jones buckets of mac and cheese. You know those things, those scam buckets that when they're like, the apocalypse is coming. Who's the guy? There's like this big religious figure, and one of their big things is they still exist, and they sell the basically apocalypse buckets of food. Yeah.
Like pantry stable?
I guess. You want to know what sucks about being Mormon? Like
what?
A real Mormon? Is your parents get into that food storage thing, but you have to renew it. So some things you have to renew every 2 years, some things every 5 years. And so eventually you have to eat the end of life stuff. So you just have like a 5-gallon bucket of stale ass rice that your mom makes you help her pour out onto a baking pan so you can pull out the weevils.
What's
the
a
little
weevil?
larvas. Weevils? They're like a little beetle, but their larvas kind of look like rice, but it squirms. So it looks like a little tiny maggot, basically.
I would set my house on fire before I go through the grains of rice.
So that's what we did, and then we'd eat the rice. And also my parents did not have a rice cooker, did not have a pressure cooker. Stovetop rice. You ever had that mushy mess? It's fucking disgusting. Put it in a pressure cooker, you freaks.
Really funny.
Every time I'm reading on Reddit and somebody's like, what would you do if you woke up in 14-year-old self? My first thing is buy a fucking pressure cooker. My parents could not cook shit.
I've never really used a pressure cooker.
What's the point of your like culinary life right now?
Well, I don't really make rice. So
pressure and slow. We had a slow cooker. My parents didn't know how to use it.
Yeah. I don't know how to use a pressure cooker. They make me nervous because I don't know what to do.
I mean, an Instant Pot is the famous one, and they come with so many things. But as far as if you want like tender, fall apart chicken, also it's amazing how fast you can do it in there. Like I can cook. I obviously, I eat a lot of chicken, so I'll make like a salty broth with just bone broth and salt, and then I'll put my chicken in it. And I don't know, 30 minutes later, it's all done, and it's like falling apart. It's like really, really tender. Yeah, it's really good. And then you can use that broth to cook the rice in. And then you've got like chicken flavored rice as well. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good situation. I also have a rice cooker. So you don't actually even it doesn't actually have to be a pressure cooker to rice cook. But it does need to be a rice cooker is kind of like a kind of pressure cooker, but maybe not as aggressive as you need. And realistically, if you buy a pressure cooker, you're probably buying like a big pot because you're making meat in it.
Right.
And you probably wouldn't want to use like that kind of for a rice because then you'd have to make so much rice at a time.
I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like it might be a good idea to get like a small rice cooker.
Oh,
like one
yeah.
that makes like
I can recommend you one if you need one for just, single servings or just maybe like a day's worth of rice. I've got this covered. By the way, when you and Promise and everybody else come to visit, I will make you all think like, maybe it wasn't so bad because I will cook you the best versions of what I can make out of my 5 foods. And like my partner loves it when I make everything fresh and she's just having the like one dish, not like then I have like 3 or 4 days out of the fridge of the leftovers that I'm heating up or whatever. But like the fresh dish, she's like, oh my God, it's so good. Because it is. Yeah. But not for every meal every time.
Right.
Right.
I know.
Yeah. It gets old. But yeah. You can
there's
fuck
some
up
like
some
really
shit.
cute ones.
You should see my kitchen. It's literally like the coffee maker for her is there. I have a Nespresso and it's a little frother. I'll make her lattes and stuff. I missed it too. I miss lattes. And then like next to that is the pressure cooker. And then next to that is the rice cooker. And then next to that is my indoor grill. I have an indoor grill, like it's an air fryer grill. And then the next to that is like a toaster oven air fryer combo thing. Because you don't want to like heat up
so
if you want to cook a
tools.
single serving. Yeah, I have not used since moving in the actual oven at all. But I also moved here during Texas summer, so you don't want to use the actual oven.
Yeah,
so
that's what I
having
was
all the
thinking.
alternatives that are smaller that you can put right under the vent chute on the stove to suck all the heat out. Nobody cares about any of this. So let's take a break. And when we come back, by the way, people in the comments, I'd love to hear, where did you originally come across this show, Giggity? Where did you originally come across this show? How did you get here? And what would you recommend we do? Now that we're about 50 episodes in, maybe not this episode is a good example of we've got our shit together, but we figure we should probably try and market this a little bit more now and make people a little more aware. So what do you think? What do you think we should do with that? We'll probably do a little things like we did at the very beginning, put episodes at the end of live shows and stuff so that people can check it out. But what would you like to see? I'd sure like to know.
I would too.
When we come back, the drawing is out. Donald Trump's card to Jeffrey Epstein. We know the truth now.
Yeah, we
Kind
do.
of.
I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by the amazing people on patreon.com/calltheline, where you can get the show ad-free and you get the extended episodes where we do bonus shows, which is most of the time. Head over to patreon.com/calltheline and sign up today. Would you like to be one of the cool people who can
Chilly.
We're back, everybody. Are you cold?
Yeah, it's like really cold in my. Actually, it's really cold outside right now. It's. Let's see. Let me see the temperature.
We had a comfortable day for once.
52. It's chilly, and we have a
Very
low of
jealous.
48. Yeah,
Very
it's a
jealous.
little- it's a little
Those are
nippy.
ideal night temps for me.
Yeah,
Not even
it's really
joking.
nice. Good for
Let's see.
sleep.
Right now, why the fuck does this think that I must have looked up the weather in Cheyenne recently?
Mm-hmm.
Because it thinks I'm in Cheyenne, but why would I have even done that? I don't know what the purpose would have been. It looks like right now it's 69. Nice. We are
Whoa.
having a cold front right now. We'll get down to 60. But I know that our AC was able to actually dip under 70 for the last couple of days, running nonstop, and it was like heaven for me.
Yeah, I'm
And
sure.
a little hellish for my partner. She gets colds easy. She gets
too.
the cold stuff. All right. Well, did you all see? Have you seen that the drawing has now been taken from the Jeffrey Epstein estate, given to Congress as a part of their investigation? This as they debate whether or not they are going to release files and get access to the full investigation, even as Donald Trump says that would be an open act of hostility to the presidency, which seems weird unless you're a pedophile. That
Right.
seems weird. What are your first impressions of seeing this drawing?
It was a lot less detailed than I thought it was going to be. Like I think the way that it was described made me think maybe it was going to have like some shading perhaps, but it's very, very simple. It's like for all intents and purposes, it's like 4 lines. Like it's the side,
Yeah,
the
one
other side,
squiggle,
and
one
then the
squiggle,
two.
and then
Yeah.
two boobs.
The other thing too is
Should I read it again? Do you think?
I don't know. I feel like everyone knows what it is. I don't know
Well,
if you need to, but maybe
It's so
I mean it's like
weird that I almost want to again, just to remind people how
really
weird it is.
But before you
Okay.
do, I also am
Yeah.
curious because I remember when the story came out, they were talking about his signature at the bottom supposed
Being where
to
the pubes are.
Yeah, but I kind of saw it and I was like, I don't know. Did he think about that? Do you
If
think
he
that that
did,
was
the
like
pubes are really low.
Yeah, like it felt I don't know.
I almost think
Felt like a
when he
stretch to
typed
me.
it up, he was thinking about Donald J. Trump, where the text is, maybe was where the pubes are going to go, and then it's a little lower. But I don't know. I mean, if you think about it, why there than anywhere else? Between her
Yeah.
legs, I do think is right, but whether or not it's meant to be pubes, I don't know. But everybody, so basically it's this card with this very crude drawing. And look, it did not help Donald Trump's whole thing about, I don't draw people. Certainly you don't. This sucks. This is a sucky drawing. Like, your defense so far, if it had come out and had been beautiful, I'd been like, all right, let's hear the guy out. Because
Yeah.
those skyline photos aren't that good.
Right.
It looks like the person who drew the skyline photos. It's a really crappy one with text in the middle that says voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald, yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey, nor will I, since I know what it is. That's kind of what he sounded like, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Nor will I. He's kind of a bit of a, I'd like to answer that question, but I don't know if I can right now. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Or no, Jeffrey says, nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age, have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday. May every day be another wonderful secret. Billionaires are fucking weird.
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
There's not a not weird one. I just watched Sam Altman do an interview and I was like, God, fucking, are you trying to make Zuckerberg look normal, you fucking freak?
They're all aliens.
They're fucking weird. This is coming from me. Tune down the autism. From me. I'm saying that. She muted. That's why you didn't hear how hilarious that was for her.
I was yawning.
Yeah. But not at the joke. The joke was great.
No,
she was yawning.
Just because I'm sleepy.
It's fucking the wrong time of day to do this.
Yeah. I think the most damning part of it, though, is the very last line.
Yeah.
Like,
every day be another wonderful secret.
Yeah. That's like.
I think there's a more damning thing.
What?
I think there's a more damning thing.
And
I didn't notice it until somebody pointed it out. Because all I had heard about was this drawing of a woman with the transcript, drawing of a woman with the transcript, drawing with a woman with the transcript.
Is it the enigmas never age?
Do you see the picture? Look at that picture again.
Okay, hold on.
Do you think Donald Trump, you're pulling it up? Donald Trump certainly is aware of the anatomy of women. And Donald Trump has expressed a deep liking for women, particularly Donald Trump likes big boobies so much, he couldn't help but mention that he wondered if his 1-year-old daughter, Tiffany at the time, would grow up to inherit Marla's breasts.
Right.
Now, you tell me that somebody who knows how to draw a lowercase w, explain to me the placement of the lines on this picture and tell me that that's a woman and not a prepubescent girl.
I thought of that when I saw that also. I thought maybe I was like overshooting it a little bit, but I think you're completely right. Because if you're drawing like a shapely woman, like normally when you draw like a cartoonish shapely woman, it's sort of like the boobs almost like extend past where the body is.
They're almost insane. Yeah.
Yes. And he drew them as
you can draw the boobs first and then the waist off of the boobs.
Yes, exactly. And the way he drew them was like very specifically small.
Small, with a lot of space between them. Small, inside, a little high.
Yeah. It does feel, I thought that also. I'm so glad you said that. I agree.
I don't know. And the boobs are, there's more to life than having everything. And it's almost like the little boobs are underlining, yes, there is, and what it is. I don't know. That maybe means nothing, but I'm like, could it be? Could it be? Could it be something? Something's weird. This is not a picture of a woman. This is a gross, crude drawing. This would do very well in certain Japanese media. You know? The certain drawn things. I'm trying to remember what it's called.
Hentai?
Lolita.
Oh, I was going to say.
No, it's not Lolita, it's Loli. Loli. You know what that is?
No.
So in Japan,
I know what hentai is, but I don't know what this is.
You have hentai, but in Japan they hadn't made child porn like fully illegal until like a few years back, but animated was still allowed, and now there's like animated like loopholes, so it'll be like, oh, I'm not a pervert because this girl who is clearly drawn as like a 9-year-old is actually a 2,000-year-old vampire, so we can watch the animation of them doing stuff. So it's basically animated child porn, which there is not a good, there's no real regulations against there, and nobody's doing anything about the people who consume it here either. It's a loophole. It's what you call a child porn. I'm saying this picture would do well in some of those communities. The lollies.
That's That's an immature body if I've ever seen one.
I'm just saying. Which does further your theory that those aren't pubes.
Yeah, I don't.
But even if they were, they're very low.
Very low.
Those are some low ass. I have pubes there, but they're on the back of my thigh.
Right.
Okay. I don't have the pubes, the pubis pubes there. Anyway.
Yeah, I kind of don't think those are pubes. But
guys, I'm starting to think Donald Trump might be a pedophile. I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to think he could be. I think and maybe not a good president.
Has he said anything about
the drawing? I thought he just relayed, I don't draw people, because people had brought up to him, like, no, you have drawn before. Has the Donald responded to the pic in the WSJ today of his card to Epstein? Let's find out, because I'm not sure. Real time. Well, but I think I just didn't know if the video was from before him saying, well, I don't draw pictures. Yeah, so it looks like Carolyn Levitt states that he does not did not create or sign the drawing, and the birthday card in question was labeled the WSJ report as fake news and part of a Democrat Epstein host. The WSJ, which is owned by Rupert Murdoch, the guy who owns Fox News. The Democrat Epstein hoax perpetuated by the Fox News guy. Very believable. Very believable, Donald.
Yeah,
Very
it's like,
believable.
I mean, you could tell these people that the sky is blue. They could see it with their own eyes, and they will tell you that it's purple.
If
all
he said
fucking
so.
day. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he says it's purple, it's purple.
They release samples of his signature to prove it's not his. Mm-hmm. They look exactly like his signature. Like, look how different it is. It's the same fucking image. It's literally like, what do you mean? It looks exactly like, it actually looks, there are certain versions of the sample where it's like, you have other samples on here that are more different than this one is of other ones on there. If that makes sense. Like, there's like 4 by which it's identical
of
to, and the other examples of the other 10, of the other 6 rather, there are some there that are further away from the 4 that look exactly like it than this one does. That's what's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I mean,
guys, I think he might be a pedophile.
I do think so. I think that the chances are pretty high that that's the case. I really do. By
the way, did you see that the appeals court once again upheld E. Jean Carroll's $83 million judgment against Trump?
$83 million.
They were thinking like, oh, we're going to get that back because now people are afraid of Trump and the Trump org and he's the president again. Bada bing, bada boom. We conclude that Trump has failed to identify any grounds that would warrant reconsidering our prior holding on presidential immunity. We also conclude that the district court did not err in any of the challenge rulings and that the jury's damages awards are fair and reasonable. Suck it.
Yeah, that felt good. That felt good. Also, this is, if I'm remembering correctly, didn't this happen like over 50 years ago? Like I can't like.
No, in the 90s.
In the 90s?
Years ago.
I thought it was like a long time.
90s.
Oh, maybe what I read was ages, like people's ages, like his age or her age or something.
Yeah, he would have been 50, I think, in the 90s.
Okay, so maybe that's what I saw. But to have something like this come through the way that it has, even after all this time, is huge.
Yeah.
Like that's huge.
By the way, the price is going up because New York gives you have to, as it goes on, 9% interest gets applied. So the longer he doesn't pay it, the more.
Wow.
The more it's going to happen. It was a Manhattan department store in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
Her bio, I need to read her actual bio, but some of the stuff, she's had a wild life. She's banged a lot of famous people. Which it's like...
Good for her.
Kind of adds to the she was in the... Like, she banged someone you knew, and you thought that means you get to bang her. Like, fully adds to the credibility of the story.
100%.
Yeah, notably the other people aren't like, no, I didn't. Wonder if I just asked Perplexity, who were the famous people E. Jean Carroll banged? If I'm that crude, will it be kind to me? We'll find out. Did you know that you're muted? I thought you just liked dead air again.
No, I didn't realize I was muted. Yeah, this was a huge deal. And it's a big win for all women who are trying to get justice in sexual assault scenarios. But it's also a big win for all the people who repeatedly say he was never convicted of that. That's not true. That's a hoax. Is it? Okay. Well, even when he filed an appeal, he couldn't get that through. So I don't know what to tell you.
This guy who he would say like, I don't remember if it was E. Jean that it happened to, but where he'd be like, she was not my type. She was not my type. Da, da, da. And then one day they're like, do you recognize this picture of this woman? Yes, I do. Who is that? My wife, Melania. And like, no, that's the victim. What the fuck? Yeah. He literally mistook a picture of the victim after saying she wasn't. I just don't remember if it was E. Jean or not. And yeah, it was wild. It was wild.
Wow.
She named her memoir Not My Type after that.
Good for her.
She had relationships and adventures with public figures, including actors Ben Vereen and Richard Harris, who I have no idea who those people are. Wait, was Richard Harris? I think that was the first Dumbledore from the Harry Potter movies.
Really?
He would have been really old at that point.
Sure.
And writer Anthony Hayden Guest.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Get it, girl. She's a bit of a chase, a little bit of what is it called? A grave robber. A little bit, but that's okay. That's okay. Get it, girl.
You know what, though? Even as an older man, he was a good-looking man.
I have never seen him nod as Dumbledore until this very moment.
Yeah, same.
I wish J.K. Rowling would stop being a transphobic monster and now like supporting fascists to the ends of her transphobia. And we could then also forget about there's a lot of other fucked up things in Harry Potter. But if she'd at least get rid of the transphobia, we'd all go back to being like, all right, we'll eat around the peas, right? Yeah. We'll pick the peas out. Because I actually would have enjoyed seeing what's his name that got cast for the new Dumbledore for the series that's coming out. The guy who's Trinity
Lucius.
Killer in Dexter. What'd you say?
Wait, who are you talking about?
The new Dumbledore in the series that's coming out on HBO is going to be played by the guy who played Trinity on Dexter.
That's interesting. Yes,
I know the actor. He was
so.
also Lord Farquaad and he was in a show called Third Rock from the Sun. And I'm just blocking on his name right now.
Is it Arthur Mitchell? Yeah. I remember
Arthur Mitchell was the
That's
name
exactly
of the character, though.
Of.
That's the name of Trinity. What's the actor's name?
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow. I would have enjoyed seeing John Lithgow but now I'm like, John Lithgow, you know what's going on. You know that your friends in Hollywood are like, they are being terrible to our trans kids and friends and things. So it's like she's now ruining people I liked before too.
I know.
It's like, John Lithgow, you now suck. Fucking Simon Pegg's best buddy, Nick, what's his name? Nick Frost is Hagrid. And that would be an awesome casting. It would be so fun to watch Nick Frost as Hagrid. But now I hate both. Like Nick Frost, it's fucked that you've made a mistake in working with her.
I think it's also like it. In the beginning, I think we could there were moments where it'd be like, that was kind of weird. Didn't really like that. Like, for instance, the fact that there is a character in the Harry Potter series whose name is Cho Chang. Like that's...
There was an Asian writer who covered that. It's like, so now that you guys are noticing and being critical, she basically named her only Asian character Ching Chong. Yeah, like, it's like one step away.
Right.
Right.
So like that alone, and I always thought that was fucking weird. So like with those kinds of stuff at the time, it was sort of like, okay. But then when she just
way she goes with like such cliches for everybody. The one black adult character, Kingsley Shacklebolt.
Right.
Shacklebolt?
That's
really?
So
you got to
bad.
make your black character. Don't worry. Dean Martin was the young black character too. So it's all good because he wasn't even named like Dean Slavey McSlave. Like, what are you fucking doing? And then one time somebody asked, let me find it. Somebody asked if there were any Jewish wizards. Mm-hmm. And her answer was like, and look, Are there Jewish people with this exact name? Sure. But after you already have made the goblins at the bank look like Nazi Jewish stereotypes.
Right.
She said that, yes, there's a Gryffindor named Anthony Goldstein.
Oh, chill out.
That's the Jewish character.
God. And you know what? It's like after experiencing that entire series, you can't tell me that you're not creative. Obviously you are. So you just, this is like purposeful.
Right. And there are Jews named Goldstein, but guessing Goldstein would still be like anti-Semitic, that you're specifically trying to go with a Jewish name that sounds both Jewish and a bit like money. Like fucking.
It would be like I'm mostly Italian. My last name is Croatian, but I'm mostly Italian. That'd be like if my name was like Maria Meatballs. You'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Like,
Maria Fettuccini.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, come on, figure it out.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pretty bad.
Did you also see the clip of Trump freaking out at that reporter who asked about, are you declaring war on Chicago?
They're going to find out why we call it the Department of War. I saw his Truth Social that he's
the
basically
post
is
that was
doing
like,
that.
what did he call it? The Chicago apocalypse or something? Or
it was
no,
bad.
What did he
bad
call
AI slop.
It was so bad, but then he like called it something really weird.
Shipocalypse,
maybe.
Chicago apocalypse.
Yeah, so like he posted on Truth Social.
Stroke-riddled brain said it out. You know, the Chicago apocalypse.
All those lesions. He posted on
I got a
Truth.
vaccine with one of those brain worms from RFK. It's not going well. It's somehow I'm smarter though than before.
Yeah, so he posted on Truth Social and he said, what did he say? It was like, fuck. Do you remember what he said in his Truth Social post about Chicago?
That we're going to find out. They're about to find out why it's called the Department of War now.
Yes, which I don't even think we talked about, that they changed the name of the Pentagon to the Department of War.
The Department of Defense specifically, yeah. The Department of War.
Okay. This is,
so that's what Pete Hegseth is now the leader, the Secretary of War instead of Defense. He's the Secretary of War.
Yeah,
the anti-war president.
The president of peace, yeah.
Right. The one who only ends them, who has now bombed civilians from Venezuela on a boat. But that's cool. That's cool. No more overseas wars. What if we did them over here? What if we did them with like armies that could walk here, could drive here? What if we did that? Does that sound good to people? I got to tell you, I started looking up the rents in other states this week.
You did?
I'm not necessarily moving yet. Okay. But Texas is seeming like a worse and worse decision.
I'm just going to browse.
I came and I tried. It would have been a great decision if other things had happened, but they didn't.
I think you need to move someplace that's not so hot.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's true. But that's just generally good advice.
Yeah. I think on top of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Maybe our next place is a little cooler.
I've been eyeballing Minnesota. A little Minnesota action. I like Tim Walz. I like him. I might make my way uptown. I've been eyeballing a little bit of, why don't I do this as we break into the ad? We'll talk about other less depressing news and try to stay away from that fucking piece of shit as much as we can. That fucking asshole. I've been making my way uptown toward Minnesota, maybe a little Seattle. I've been looking in the Seattle area. Somewhere between Portland and Seattle, I think would be nice. I played the Powerball this week. I did not win the billions, so I'm not moving to California. Can't afford a house. Cannot afford a $30 million house without that Powerball winning.
Yeah.
So I won't be making my way to California town, probably. Denver is always, I love Denver, and I'd happily go back, but haven't committed to that yet. Mm-hmm. I'd probably try I'd want to try somewhere new. Somewhere new would be nice.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Would you like to be one of the cool people who can prove they were supporting this podcast right from the beginning? Well, you can. Head over to linemerch.com. That's linemerch.com and pick up some founders merch for The Line as a podcast that will only be available for a short time and features the rough draft drawn logo that soon will be updated to look less like it was drawn by a 3-year-old. That's linemerch.com.
That should have been before the second segment when we're talking so much about Trump. I don't know. What have you seen? What's been going on? What's in your head? What if I put all the pressure on you to come up with it? West Point's canceling their ceremony with Tom Hanks.
Really?
Because they're a bunch of snowflakes. I mean, he's been critical of the president, so he can't come here anymore. Canceled. What happened to cancel culture, people?
It's not against the law to be not be standing with everything the president does. I don't understand why people think that.
I thought cancel culture was dead, people. What happened?
Right.
Why are you canceling people left and right now? It's because they were always complaining about it while they were always doing it and intending to do it worse than anybody else. So
I don't know. The only thing I've been thinking about it's not news related, is I was on YouTube and I was like scrolling through my YouTube shorts, and so I get some of like the Line ones, and I get like mean comments on so many of my YouTube shorts, and it's just
that's all YouTube shorts are. It's just dicks.
It's crazy, and
the people who comment on shorts are just dicks.
Yeah, it's like, some of the times you do see people who are like obviously normal and whatever, but many times the comment, like one of the comments, okay, this one was kind of petty, but like there was one comment that was like, the second that I saw those Botox lips and the nose ring, I knew exactly where she stands.
Was it that same asshole who thought there's a person in our comments who only answers questions nobody asked him?
No, it's not that guy. It's a different guy. And I responded to him and I said, I've never gotten Botox in my lips ever. But the thing is, like, I've gotten filler in my lips before. Like I haven't in like a year, but no one gets Botox in their lips. Idiot. Do a Google search.
I feel bad because Sapphic Hazard's cool and she's in there commenting. So not everybody's an asshole, but
no,
not
everybody.
A lot of assholes in shorts.
But I don't know. Actually, this is also something kind of related. Ground News, who I really have enjoyed following, they posted an article or a study that said that people are having less sex, specifically Gen Z. And people are having less sex in general. But the thing is, when you do those studies... Right.
Sorry.
You do those studies and they're self-reported. So like
I buy it though. I think Gen Z, there's a split at COVID that's like even worse, but Gen Z, they don't know how to talk to each other.
Yeah. But
Fuck you, Gen Z.
It's not worth
I said it. Sorry, just a millennial podcast complaining about Gen Z. You Gen Zs with your video games.
You Zoomers, you damn
You're
Zoomers.
using your VR headsets and your sex robots instead of going out and porking your friends.
Low-key, that's kind of you. You're roasting yourself.
I'm fucking a real human, but I do like VR.
You do like VR, though.
I've never had a sex robot.
No, but I think you would try it.
Of course I would. If it was great at it. We'll try once they get the kinks out. Not the kinks, but the kinks.
Yeah.
Leave the kinks in, but get the kinks out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right.
Kinks in, kinks out.
So Ground News reported this study, and then I looked at the first line of it, and it was like, according to a study from the Institute of Family Studies. Yeah. And then I was like,
Heritage Foundation.
It's the Bradley Foundation that funds the Institute of Family Studies, and the Bradley Foundation is a literal conservative think tank.
Isn't it backed by the Heritage Foundation? Are they all in a little group? Yeah.
Maybe. And the Institute of Family Studies, they changed their website recently, but their website, like on their homepage, it used to say that they were a foundation to support nuclear families with a father and a mother who stays at home. And like that, like literally it was very cut and dry yeah. And so, it
I
was
guess in
really
theory, they
disappointing.
could technically do a good study if they published all their findings, their methods, it could be peer reviewed. But you got to also assume they had an agenda for releasing it because they...
Correct. And they also,
release the things that,
in the study that they referenced, they don't even include demographic information. They just say in a survey of 1,000 people. And then they don't, which 1,000 people is not really that many. And also, they don't include the demographics. So you're making a broad stroke assumption about Gen Z. How many Gen Zers were in that study? What if there were 4? What if they were at the youngest age in Gen Z? Like, come on.
Totally unrelated though. I just sent you a link because I wasn't aware that Forrest had been appearing on the channel with facial hair and and he had straightened the top of his hair. I swear he was trying to cosplay as me. Look at the video I just sent you, the short from, I didn't even know this was happening. And this is the first time first of all, Forrest, I love you. I really do. I sent it as a text, I think. Didn't I? Did I send it to the wrong person? Should I probably send it to somebody else?
Did you send it to Forrest?
That's very possible. In fact, almost certainly. And I won't be explaining it to him. I won't be explaining why. I won't be. Let's find out. Is that what I did?
Oh my gosh. Wow. Right? It's very swoopy.
If people want to go find the short called The Golden Child, no one else before him understands the Bible. It's a YouTube short and he has straightened because he's got curly ass hair and he's got facial hair. And I'm like, what is this? Who is this evil Forrest? Doesn't he look
really
like
funny?
He's like an evil Forrest.
He looks like emo Forrest.
Did you just forward it to somebody?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, who we telling? Let's do it together. Trying to find a short with me on it. And I'm like, Arden has made the right move and does not feature me in shorts all that often. It's good for you. Good on you. Good smart move. No, it just means I haven't been on a show recently because it's... All right, here's one. Here's one with me talking about economists, I guess. Let's see. Very well said. This is greatly depressing. What do you see? How can they steal from me without... Okay, where's the people being dicks? If tariffs are so bad, how come so many countries have them? It's really funny that these people are so redacted that they'll just repeat questions that there are answers to them. No one is saying tariffs are unilaterally bad, but unilateral tariffs are bad. They're horrible. And that's actually a basic economic concept.
Especially when they're being misrepresented to a community who thinks that the tariffs are going to be paid for by someone else. Like that, it's also like in that whole situation, informed consent like feels like it comes into play, but it's like not really anyone else's responsibility to explain that that's how tariffs work to the citizens here. But the Republican Party knew what they were doing and they purposely like worded it so that it did feel that way and like validate these people who are unaware that the tariffs are things that we are paying for. Like when there was a headline that was swirling around and it was like...
Very literally, by the way. I'm not even joking. Today, a DHL package arrived. Yesterday, I got an email that was like, we have your package. We'll deliver it as soon as you pay the tariff. So I literally had to go on to DHL and pay. The funniest part of it, the tariff was more. Somehow, I don't know how it all worked. Maybe it's tariff plus the import or something, but the product was $25. I paid $31 in the tariff, VAT, all that sort of stuff. On top. I paid more than the product for the tariffs, and they're like, you have to do it. And I'm like, if there was a breakdown when I bought it, I probably would have been opposed to. I'm not going to pay more than the product for it. But they're like, just so you know, if you don't pay this, DHL's already paid it on your behalf. You've already imported. So if you don't pay it, we'll just we won't deliver to you ever again. That's pretty much how the companies do it. So yeah, but no, it's across the board. Tariffs don't work. They're bad. But if you want to say like China has a surplus of eggs this year, so they're going to try and undermine our market by flooding it with cheap eggs that they don't need because they have too many. And so they're going to ruin, like, that's literally what you use tariffs for when one country is trying to flood another country's market with a cheap version of something they produce locally, thereby undermining their system and taking money out of that country's pockets, that's what you use tariffs for. But otherwise, it's a tax on you, you fucking idiots. You're so dumb. You're so dumb.
There was a headline that was swirling around that was like, the U.S. has officially made $2 billion or I don't know, some ridiculous number off of tariffs. It's a success. And I'm like,
and who paid it?
Who paid? We paid for that. Literally all they did was scam you out of your own money. It is literally a grift. It is literally
no taxes
a scam.
Party. The conservative taxes are too high, except for these ones I'm going to put on you right now.
Taxes in a different font. They're just
Donald
calling
Trump
it something
else. And now
else.
gas prices are lower, groceries are lower. I said I'd do it. And literally his own people pleading on the internet, like, please, somebody let him know, because they don't think he could be lying. I don't know. Have I already talked to you about this? Have you seen the people, like, even on his own posts on Truth Social, they'll put videos up and they're like, I know he wouldn't say this unless he doesn't know. Somebody in his orbit is telling him that they're low, the prices are lower, and they're not. Mr. President, please go look. I can't afford these gas prices. They were higher under Biden. There's one guy who, like, his voice starts breaking. He almost starts crying, and he realizes real time, and he starts to say, Biden should have ran again. And then he like cuts himself off and he's like crying. He's like, I'm going, I'm out. It like, and you could tell it was an authentic MAGA guy. Like sometimes you're like, this person's not for real. And then sometimes you're like, yep, I can see the peanut shape of your head because your brain is leaving your body. You definitely voted for Trump. You definitely voted for Trump. It's like the brain's trying to escape. It's like, I'm not doing anything useful here anyway. So I'll just move out the body. Oh my God.
Crazy. What was I talking about before?
I don't know.
Oh, but ground news.
You're very tired. Oh, yeah. Did I interrupt that story? So
yes.
The study
last thing I want to
bad.
say about it is I commented on it and I just said, just FYI, this is from the Institute of Family Studies, and they are notoriously biased. They are founded by a conservative foundation. So the information that they put out there will always lean that way and will be like in the context of purity culture. And first of all, I'm disappointed that Ground News posted that, because even if they wanted to share that, they should have that is really important context. Really important context. If you wanted to share information like that, you could have shared it from other sources that have reported a similar thing. Like, I'm fairly certain the CDC actually has a report that is similar to that gives similar information. So it was weird that they chose the Institute of Family Studies to share that as a source to share that information. The other thing too is like, they should know better than that. Like, it's first of all survey information. Also, they should have looked for like a meta-analysis of a bunch of studies. Like, why did you choose? It didn't declare
the bias on it at all or anything? Because I mean, that's usually their appeal, right?
So it was like 20% left, 40% center, 40% right. But isn't that also, it's the bias in how often, how much it's being reported.
Who's covering it? Which side? Yeah,
who's covering it? So like, it's not
it's hard
actually
to blame them then if they're, for me, maybe it's not hard, but it's like they're kind of more of an intermediary, I feel like.
For sure. But I just wish that they would have included the context. Like because the context.
Bit more explicit about it.
Yeah, the context is tremendously important. Also, on that post, I have gotten so many people responding to me that are also awful. And some of them are just like, it's always a whore that has something to say. Whatever.
Yeah. But they'll have a Bible verse in their bio.
Yeah, always.
Just lovers of Jesus.
Yeah,
just followers. Be like Jesus by telling these whores go to hell.
What would Jesus do? Tell her she's a whore.
Right.
I guess. I don't know. But anyway, I thought that was interesting. I was like, wow. Is it what?
Wasn't his best buddy a whore? I don't know that, guys. I don't think Jesus liked this very much. I think Jesus came back. He'd be hanging out with trans people because you guys would hate it so much. He wouldn't go find the people you like. He was always hanging out with people on the outskirts.
He was.
Our condolences,
Allegedly.
by the way. We do need to get to a little bit of sad news for all of you clothing wearers, Fashion Week lovers. Giorgio Armani has passed away at the age of 91.
Oh, really? Just now?
Yeah, that was like 5 days ago. No.
Oh.
Armani.
Okay.
Get Armani on the phone. He's dead. So you
well,
can't.
91, that's a long time. Armani still exists and makes products today, so he's left a nice legacy along, I guess. I have no idea if he's a good person, though. And a lot of these people who are like fashion houses were fucking awful. So
RFK is making it so you will need a prescription to get a COVID vaccine now, which will just dramatically reduce the amount of people getting the COVID vaccines. That's what it's meant to do, and that's all it will do, because they must be aware that people don't have the ability to just go to the doctor like that. Most people are underinsured, and you're talking about adding now the cost of seeing a primary care provider or similar, and then the cost of going to a pharmacy and buying it there, as opposed to like before, where a lot of places, like I use Baylor Scott and White, you can just walk in and they'd be like, all right, we're doing free COVID shots over here because we prefer you guys get vaccinated because it'll lower our overall costs. They're also linking autism to a common pain reliever.
Tylenol.
Yeah.
I saw that.
And folate deficiency in pregnancy.
Also,
well, I'll tell you what I did was I reached into my ass and I just pulled it out.
I also saw
right
someone
up
talking
there.
about. I saw someone talking about the year that the autism diagnostic was like determined, and then the year that Tylenol came out and the year that vaccines came out. And it should be no surprise to anyone that the year that the autism diagnosis came out predates those other things by like 2 decades. So like, what are you talking about? You can't just say stuff. Here's the thing. There are many things with RFK that make me very upset. One of the things that makes me so fucking blood red mad is even as a person who is always trying to present research-backed information, reading research is hard because you have to consider the bias of the people who are studying it. That's why like things like a meta-analysis are great, because you hope that in the mix of all the information that's being viewed, you kind of like negate some of the bias that might exist, or maybe some of the methodology that could have been better or whatever. RFK, the way, like the studies that he must be referencing must be drawn with goddamn crayons. Where are you getting this information from? It's hard to finalize what a theory might be. Like that's hard. It takes a really long time. So for this guy to just be talking out of his fucking asshole and saying the craziest stuff and like it's fact.
Yep.
You just made that up. Like you literally made that up. And if that were actually going to be information that people should take action with, there would have to be so much more information than what he is looking at. Like it's just tell me you have no idea what you're talking about without telling me you don't know what you're talking about. And it's every single thing that comes out of RFK's mouth. Every single fucking thing.
This, as we are also finding out that the CDC is recommending, I think it's the CDC, is recommending that Chagas, I think is how you pronounce it, the kissing bug disease in California be designated as endemic. That we might have another thing along the way, but this parasite has potentially infected between 70,000 and 100,000 California residents who won't even know they have it yet, because you don't really find out you have Chagas until you have a heart attack or a stroke. Years later, it remains dormant for a long time. And it's caused by a parasite. And, you know, it's cool. We got the right people. We got the best people in the right. So what we're going to do for the Chagas is we're going to make sure that they're not allowed to spray preservatives on lettuce. Like it'll be some dumb shit like that. I don't know. I hate it here, people. And honestly, I'm tired and cranky and this sucks. So tell us what you think we should do to improve the show. Tell us what you think we should. Tell us what you think, how you got here. Leave a comment below. Tell us what news was on your mind, what things we should have talked about that we didn't. It always helps us shape stuff up, and just be excited, people, because we should have Promise back, at least on the podcast, very soon. And I'm excited.
Can't wait.
I'm tired. So if that seems sarcastic, it's not. I'm very excited.
It always surprises me that when it randomly gets louder.
I forget to turn it down. We'll do a bonus show because we didn't last time. My knee is fine. It has.
Oh yeah.
It had a few more oozing incidents. It's got quite a big like yellowish scabby thing on it, but it's healing. So all is well in Knee Town. We'll see you in the bonus show over on patreon.com/calltheline. But for everybody who's not there, that's the end of the show. Sorry.